Now we're going to be getting into a little bit of a different concept today. But today, I'm going to be teaching you how women actually fall in love and the elements of female desire. Because what men are convinced of certain things in today's world, like it has to have chemistry there. I have to be high value. I have to demonstrate my value to her. I have to learn a bunch of game and tactics. These are the things that are literally crushing your desire with her. Now, what I'm about to tell you, do not use it for evil. And I really mean that. The things I'm going to be teaching you in today's video are probably a bit higher level. It really is higher level thinking and higher level aspects of just being a human. And in the wrong hands, this could be used for really bad things. So stick with me for the whole video, because it is actually going to be worth your time. Now, this video will piss some of you off, because you're going to realize that probably the world has lied to you in quite a few ways. And you're going to be sitting there going, damn, I've been chasing all these things that are never going to actually lead me to the final destination that I think it will. And you have probably been chasing something that you'll never be able to catch because it doesn't exist. So here's what the world wants you to think. You need all these boxes checked to qualify for a woman, or to prove your worth, or to prove yourself. And you're going to hear things like, well, you need skills, and you need to be high value. Then she's going to have all this love and this chemistry and this attraction and just adore you. Then you're going to hear stuff like, you know, one day when you wake up and you've made it and you're a millionaire and all of a sudden you have these six-pack abs, you're going to have this unlimited confidence and you're going to just feel amazing. And here's the truth. There is no endpoint to success or a final destination that will ever make you feel free. Free to walk up and talk to that girl. Free to live life how you want. Free to dress how you want. Free to talk how you want. No, nothing's going to ever do that for you. Nothing. There's no materialistic thing that will ever give you that false internal confidence or conviction in yourself. Another thing that the world wants you to think is that women only look at materialistic stats. Oh, he has money, so now that means he's a man to her. It's not how this stuff works, or that you're not good enough. This is all bullshit. The way that a woman falls in love has nothing to do with chemistry. It has nothing to do with compatibility. It has nothing to do with her liking you. Sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with her respecting you. Women only fall in love when there is a discrepancy between you and her in sexual market value. Meaning, whatever she views herself as, she views you above her. Now, this is a frame of value. She has categorized you. Let me give you an example of what this would look like. If you are at a bar, this is just completely hypothetical. Stick with me, because frames of value, women can't control their attraction, just like you can't control what you're attracted to. What if you see a beautiful woman, whether you're a good guy, whether you're a bad guy, whether you're a mean guy, whether you're a happy guy? It doesn't matter how you were raised or what your personal beliefs are. When you are attracted to something and you find it arousing, or you find a woman beautiful, you can't help it. It's the same with women. Women have things they find attractive in men. So women only fall in love when there is a discrepancy between you and her in sexual market value. She thinks yours is above hers. This is called a frame of value. Here's an example. You're at a bar. You're a multimillionaire with a private jet. You're sitting around a table, and there's 10 people in total. There are 3 other men, and there are 6 women. There's 10 people in total. The one guy sitting there who's the brokest, let's say, or he's the one who just doesn't give a shit, or lives however wants. And let's say someone says something, and he says, just a good witty one-liner, like, it's a joke. All the women think it's hilarious, and he wasn't even trying to be funny. Like maybe he sits there stone cold when he delivers it, and it's just the way he delivered it was hilarious. In that exact moment, they are going to have more attraction and arousal towards that guy because he has inflated the emotional state and the value of the entire collective of people sitting there. So in that exact moment, he may have more market value sexually than you, even if you have all the boxes checked. So there are some hidden skills that men have not actually learned about attracting women, or even just how to be themselves, for that matter. A discrepancy in sexual market value. She looks at you and she's like, man, this guy's cooler than me. This guy is more popular than me. This guy is more outgoing than me. This guy takes risks and says things that I would never say. Or she might look at that guy and go, man, this guy is more interesting than me. This guy is more well-known than me. This is why women like popular guys. This is why women like guys with status. But the thing is, men don't necessarily understand how women perceive status. Women perceive status based on how you're being judged from the collective whole of the people that you're around. And there's ways that you can demonstrate status, but what you have to understand is there will never be anything on paper. This will all make sense. Just stick with me. Not only that, the discrepancy in sexual market value also happens to come when she sees that you are desired by other women. This has nothing to do with chemistry. In fact, when you check all these boxes, then she feels chemistry. Majority of men think if they build rapport with her, if they have things in common, she's going to get attached. No, that is not how this works. When a woman stops looking up to you, she starts to look down on you. When she looks down on you, she thinks she's better than you. When she thinks she's better than you, she exits because there's something about your personality that demonstrates some sort of weakness, some sort of insecurity, some sort of turnoff, or some sort of attachment that she viewed as unattractive. The only difference with what I'm saying versus the majority of the content creators is, the majority of the content creators are going to tell you that a woman only looks up to you when you have all of these boxes checked on paper. Like when you walk down the street or you talk to a woman at an event, a party. Women don't often know how much money you make. Women don't know where your status is. You start to demonstrate these things by conviction, confidence, and personality. So what's the key to this? The key to this is you've got to really ask yourself why you live the way you do. Because if you take a look, you have 24 hours in a day. If you chop up and divide how you're living those 24 hours, most people are living them just for the satisfaction or the validation that they may get from others. Here's what I mean by that. You're the guy where you say, you know, if I make all this money, or I hustle for the next 5 years in my business, then I'll have the admiration of women. Or if you say these things like, you know, if I just get six-pack abs, then I'm going to be valued and respected by other people because I look super fit. And most of the time, people, like the women that you talk to, they just don't give a crap. Because when you have to self-qualify, when you tell yourself you have to build yourself, when you tell yourself you have to do all of these things to gain other people's approval, that is when you ruin the whole thing. So how do you start to live like this? You operate life on your own terms. The key is to be present in the moment and 100% confident with yourself to actually let go and just not give a shit. If you can adapt the I don't give a crap mentality, but not just say it, like you actually mean it, like you genuinely don't give a crap what other people think, how they view you, how you should live your life. If you're at a 10 out of 10 in life satisfaction and you have another person who looks down on you for the choices that you're making, you've got to understand that they just see the world through a different lens. Women are only looking at the man from a sense of, is he 100% confident within his own identity, within his personality? And this is what makes up an alpha male. When women are present in the moment with a guy, they are looking at who he is from the inside out, the guts of the man, what makes him him. The key is to be 100% self-confident, 100%, and genuinely not give a fuck. And I'm going to explain why this is so important right now. Most guys, if you're watching this channel, and maybe some days you wake up and you're insecure, you don't feel good, or you are not very confident, or you're shy, all of those things. Most guys, you could put $5 million in their bank account right now. You could give guys six-pack abs, wide shoulders, chest full of muscle. You could give these guys fame if you snap your fingers and you said, here's 2 million Instagram followers. You're a celebrity. Everyone loves you. You could also give that guy all of a sudden 6'5" height, male model quality looks. Most men, if you gave them everything on the external, are still insecure as hell from the inside out. The guts of the man, they have an impoverished identity. Who they are, they don't think is naturally good enough. The problem with adding things to the external is you never fix the internal, and you realize that your internal is moved. Your internal is changed. Because the guts of you, who you are from the inside out, your personality has been influenced by the external world. From the way you dress, the way you do your hair, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you operate, what you think is socially normal, everything. It's because of what you've seen. Well, how do you make up your reality? You make up your reality by what your eyes see, and then what your ears hear. What you hear and what you see becomes your reality. Right now, since we live in such a digital world, it's not very common for men to approach women anymore. Oftentimes, guys are sitting there on their cell phones. They don't ever walk up to a woman and say hello. Think about this for a second. If you're sitting at a sports bar, or you're sitting at a club, or you're at the park and you watch a guy go approach a beautiful woman and introduce himself and ask her out, if that's the first time you've ever seen that happen, since it's not very normal anymore, once you see that, you go, maybe that is normal. Well then, if you see 2 guys do it, then it becomes more normal. And 3 guys, and 4 guys, and pretty soon that becomes the reality. What I'm saying is, the reality that you've seen from the day you were born until now has been constructed for you. So the goals that you think that you want to achieve, they're only important because of what your ears have heard and what your eyes have seen. Think about that for a second. Imagine that. What if you started from a clean slate and you took a pen and paper and you said, what do I actually want? How do I actually want to live? You're probably not confident or your true authentic self or what you want to be or how you want to sound because you are living in a mental reality that has been put in front of you to get you to chase certain goals that you, as an individual, might not even find super important. Think about that for a second. Most guys, you could give them every single external materialistic, status-driven metric to go and tell yourself, to give yourself all the proof that you made it. Now, they're still on the inside nervous, or they're still on the inside anxiety. They still on the inside can't let go. If the ability to not give a crap, that is how a woman views an alpha male. And I'm telling you, you can do that in a normal everyday car, or you can do that in a Maserati. You can do that on a private plane, or you can do that flying a normal airline. There comes a point where you just have to let go. Realize that who you are, you have value because God created you in the first place. You have value because you have balls between your legs and you're a man. So start just acting like it. It's okay to go after what you want. So when you think about this at a deep level, when most guys are like, oh, I want all this muscle, or I want abs, you actually don't want abs. You tell yourself you do. You tell yourself you're in the gym for you. But what you really want is confidence. What you really want is, you think, oh, when I get my abs and my muscle, what you're going to be like, oh, now I'll have the confidence to talk to a girl at the restaurant. Think how stupid that is. You're trying to build the external to fix the internal. I'm not saying disregard your goals. I'm not saying don't self-improve. I'm not saying don't build muscle, but you've got to ask yourself why you're doing it. You've got to ask yourself why you chase these things. You actually just want confidence. Most of you don't want to build a business. You tell yourself you want to build a business, but you don't. You want the excuse now to act like you get to feel good enough. Like, oh, now I can allow myself to feel good enough because I have $1 million in the bank. I'm going to tell you something. You will feel the same on the inside no matter where you're at in life. No matter where you're at, it doesn't matter. A woman wants to see you have that level of confidence where, no matter where you're at, you're still a solid, stable rock. You know who you are, then you have a frame of value. Now, If the millionaire on the boat who's 6'5" sends a text message that says, "Baby, are you mad at me?" he failed. He's not high value. If the guy who has six-pack abs is still on the inside, shy and super hesitant when he talks to women, she's going to see this was all done on the outside, just because he doesn't feel good enough. Let's say the guy who's 6'5" and has a Lambo and abs and a business. When he's holding her hand, he holds that hand just a little too long. He goes in for one too many kisses. Interest test failed. He calls her one too many times. He starts initiating contact. He's no longer chasing his goals in life or how he wants to live for himself, because you, an individual human too, he's now attached to this other person. Interest test failed. A guy who's a millionaire can go from a 10 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10 just like that overnight. And that's what I'm telling you. It's inside. You don't want to build a business. You want the excuse now to go out and act like you get to feel good, or you're now good enough. Self-qualification. So you could give every guy most of this, and they would still feel like crap on the inside. So, what's the best way to actually get her hooked? Well, not only do you have to be present in the moment, so you can connect with the woman, which means talk slower. If you guys are having a drink together, enjoy the drink. Maybe you compliment what she's wearing if you think it looks good. Maybe you're chill and you're enjoying the time with her. Because most guys are thinking about the next steps down the road, when hopefully they can sleep together, or hopefully they can get the girl aroused enough. This is super pathetic how men just literally put all of their identity and goals and fixation on how they can attract the girl. This is stupid. You gotta understand this. When you have sex with a woman, it gives her the power. This is what guys don't understand. All these guys trying to become high value on paper to get more sex. The women see that what's between their legs has power over that man. Do you understand that? If that's what you're playing for, do you understand how weak you've actually become? Getting one thing is your end goal, and that's it. How do you show that you're actually high value? You don't have sex with her, or you're not even worried about that. And when you're not worried about that, and you can be present in the moment and just talk, she ends up wanting to have sex with you. She ends up wanting to seduce you. It's like, wow, I've actually met a guy who isn't trying to do all this weird stuff, and he's just completely confident and comfortable, just being how he is. This is what women look for. Imagine what it does if you decline. If you say no, what does that do? Well, now you're abundant. This also looks super pre-selected at that moment, and you're present in that moment. You're with her. You don't care about going to the next step. And also, you now come from a state of love and groundedness. Like, imagine how stoic you have to be to actually not just dive right into your lustful desires. Imagine how grounded you have to be to just enjoy the moment and where you're at in life. So when you wake up to this stuff, it's almost impossible to see this video and have it not impact you, because most guys, if you actually look at your goals of what you're chasing, you're probably chasing things that have no endpoint. You're probably chasing things of goals that the rest of the world tells you should be chasing, and it's not necessarily true. So, a state of groundedness. You're also stoic. You're not needy for sex. So when you do this, look at this. Now she finally feels safe with you. Now you're not overqualifying. Stop overqualifying. When you stop focusing so much on building the external, you find out how to bring yourself internal peace and internal confidence. You're okay with who you are, and that means you're okay with everything. You're cool with how your voice sounds. You're okay with your hairline. You're okay with who you are, and you're happy because this is the only life you have. That right there, that's what I mean when women say, "Oh, he's charismatic. Oh, he's so different. He's so unique. There's just something different about him. I like him." That's how women fall in love. This is why I tell you, women fall in love through words. Women fall in love through personality. Women fall in love through expression. This is why women read fantasies, fairy tales, and romance mangas. They get aroused by those kinds of things, and they don't live in this visual world like you do. They don't care about the materialistic things like men do. They're also up in their head, but in a different way. It's the land of emotion. So when you can understand how to connect one-to-one, the masculine and the feminine come together, and you connect with her, that is how you get a woman attached. By watching these videos, it's clear you're someone who's eager to improve, and that's worthy of admiration. You've already demonstrated the willpower and the desire for self-improvement. What you need now is a clear path. We're offering a valuable resource, a free secret ebook written by Tristan Tate. This ebook contains exclusive knowledge on how to attract women effectively, no matter the circumstances. It delves into the art of seduction, understanding female nature, and dating as a comprehensive whole. This is just the groundwork for you to become a player in the dating realm. You don't lack motivation. You just lack the knowledge and trust in the path that you're taking. You can either continue on an aimless journey that leads nowhere, or take action by clicking the link in the description below.